Chapter 4 of Thingol and Melian. Melian was a Maya of the race of the Valar. She dwelt in the gardens of Lorien, and among all his people there were none more beautiful than Melian. Among all his people means to the Valar. Nor more wise, nor more skilled in songs of enchantment. It's told that the Valar would leave their works, and the birds of Valinor their mirth. So the Valar, when they leave their works, they found in the bird their mirth or enjoy or amusement. Also, that the bells of Valmar, the second name to Valinor, were silent, and the fountain ceased to flow. When at the mingling of the lights Melian sank in Lorien, when at the mingling means the mixing of the lights, Melian sank in Lorien. Nightingales, type of birds, went always with her, and she taught them their song. And she loved the deep shadows of the great trees. She was Akin before the word was made to Yavanna herself. Akin means similar to or resemble, just like Yavanna herself. And that time, when the Quenya awoke beside of the waters of Quenya, she departed from Valinor and came to the hither lands. And there she felt the silence of Middle Earth before the dawn, with her voice and the voices of her birds, before the dawn, before the appearance of light. Now when their journey was near its end, as has been told, the people of the Teleri rested long in East Beleriand, beyond the river Gillian. And at this time, many of the Noldor lay to the westward, and those forests that were afterwards named Neldoreth and Rhygien. Elwë, lord of the Teleri, went often through the great woods to seek out Finwë, his friend, in the dwellings of the Eldor. And chanced on a time that he came along to a starlit wood of Nan-Elmoth, and there suddenly he heard the song of nightingales. The enchantment fell on him, and he stood still, and afar off beyond the voices of the Lomelindi is the birds of the nightingales. He heard the voice of Melian, and filled all his heart with wonders and desire. He forgot then utterly all his people and all the purposes of his mind, and following the birds under the shadows of the trees, he passed deep into Nan-Elmoth and was lost. But he came at last to a glade, open to the stars. Glade means an open space in the forest where you could see the sky. And there Melian stood, and out of the darkness he looked at her, and the light of Aman was in her face. She spoke no word, but being filled with the love of Elwë. Elwë came to her and took her hand, and straightway a spell was laid on him, so that they stood thus while long years were measured by the wheeling stars above them. Wheeling stars, the stars that having orbits, measured on time. And the trees of Nan-Elmoth grew tall and dark before they spoke any word. Thus Elwë's folk who sought him found him not. And Olwë took the kingship. Olwë took the kingship of the Teleri and departed. As is told hereafter, after this thing, Elwë Thingol came never again across the sea to Valinor, so long as he lived, and Melian returned not thither with while their will together lasted, so they stayed together forever, never returned to Valinor. But of her there came along among both the elves and men a strain of the Ainur who were with Iluvatar before Aya. So another strain of Ainur of Maya and just like Maya and Valar came to let's say descend to the world exactly where Melian and Thingol live, or Melian and Elwë live, were they before the creation of Ea. In after days he became a king renowned, and his people were all the elder of Beleriand, the Sindar they were named, the grey elves, the elves of the twilight, and King Greymantle was he. Ilo Thingol in the tongue of the land, and Melian was his queen, wiser than any child of Middle-earth. And their hidden halls were in Minegroth, the 1,000 caves in Doriath. Great power Melian lent to Thingol, or was given to Thingol, who was himself great among the Eldar, or he alone of all the Sindar had seen with his own eyes the trees in the day of their flowering. And King Thor he was of Amania, who was not accounted among the Moikwendi. Amania considered as the greatest elf who emerged to Valinor and become more wiser than any others. While the Moikwendi is the type of Quendi, or the elves who, let's say, strayed on the way, or they didn't depart, or didn't go with the Oromen. So even he was straight, but he still considers as Amania, not from the Moikwendi or those who flee from Oromi path to the Valinor. But with the elves of the light, mighty upon Middle-earth, and of the love of Thingol and Melian, there came into the world the fairest of all the children of Ilúvatar there was, or shall ever be, from the unite of Thingol and Melian. New children has arisen. And this is the end of this chapter.